Hi everybody, thank you for joining me. Here's an update what's going on at Yellowstone. Today is September 29th, 2017. There was an earthquake in Mexico that occurred late last night. Shook up the caldera there at Old Faithful. I was watching it and recording as the events unfolded. It created an earthquake up there in Lincoln, Montana, and other places. So this is an image of Old Faithful late last night when the earthquake in Mexico occurred. All the geysers went off. Here we got Old Faithful. We got another one back here. It might be Beehive. There's another one off on the right that went off. And you can see all these in the back. Now that's a good thing. When an earthquake occurs, it often brings up lots of gases, shakes up the caldera, the magma that's under the soil, heats up the water. So this is a pressure mechanism to release the pressure that is happening. I'll run this real fast so you can see what was going on. Here's Old Faithful going off. Look at that. Now, when you see stuff like this, people there at the parks with high-powered lights shine lights on the different geysers. Over here on the left, sometimes they bring in lights that are red, and it makes the trees look like it's lava. But it's actually only people with lights, high-powered lights, lighten up the different things in the area. Now you can go to one of my recent videos that I posted about the buildings within this area, and you'll see that to the right there's cabins, there's different buildings for the park, a parking lot. There's also a parking lot directly behind off here on the sideway. But that's why this corner of the walkway is often lit up, because of the cabins and the people's lights that visit the geysers. I don't know why they go in there with red lights, but maybe it's for light pollution. I don't know. And we'll go see that. I'll back it up a little bit. See, that's a person there at the park using a light and lighting up the trees that are back over here. There isn't any lava under any river currently there at Yellowstone. There's no magma that's broken through the ground anywhere at the park. I'll back that up and you can see that one was going off there. And there's Old Faithful. See how people use their lights to light up the geyser? Sometimes they take laser pens and they'll point it just on a certain spot. But all the geysers were going off because of the Mexico earthquake. Look at that. It shook the caldera for a good half hour, probably longer. Now here on Black Mountain you can see another earthquake that came in. There was a 5.7 magnitude earthquake off of Mexico. It had a depth of 52 kilometers. Very deep. And that's about 32 miles in depth, not kilometers, 32 miles. Here we have Earthquake Lake late last night, 4:15 Universal Time, about 9 o'clock Mountain Time. Another monitor for Yellowstone Lake. Here we can see the Mexico earthquake and how it shook it up. But notice this signature right here, how much different it is than this. This is really what was going on. Another example why I don't like the digital monitors. Now here we have the monitor for Helena Valley, Montana. This is that 2.3 earthquake. It looks bigger to me than a 2.3. But besides that, there's a screw wave. This is an indication of magma on the move. I'm often seen as a volcano recharges for an earthquake. And then we got one there and another one there. There's the location of that earthquake right there. And over here we have Helena Valley, Montana. Here's the monitor at that time for Bozeman, Montana. There's the Mexico earthquake, and you can see, yeah, it just made the earth ring like a bell. I'm sure it caused the same thing to happen at different volcanoes around the world. Missoula, Montana. This was long period vertical. Red Lodge, Montana. Broadband vertical. There's the Mexico earthquake. And you can see it shook for quite a while. Lewis and Clark Cavern. An earthquake there and there, both of them in Lincoln, Montana. McKenzie Canyon, Montana. There's an indication of magma coming in right there. And right there, both of those, Lincoln, Montana. Chamberlain Mountain in Montana. Yeah, there was 2 quakes it looks like before that. A little one there. There's the most recent one after the earthquake in Mexico. Another reason, because of the size, why I say it was probably larger than a 2.3. Libby Dam there in Montana. And this monitor seemed to have the most significant signature. There's a Mexico earthquake. You can see the little wavy lines before that. And this one was in Lincoln, Montana. There in Morgan, Utah. Then we got a 2.1, also by Salt Lake City. Wolf Creek, Utah, a 2.1. Soda Springs, a 1.5. Another 1.2, Soda Springs. 1.7, Soda Springs. 1.8. Mollett City, Idaho, right on the border, a 1.6. Another in the same location, a 1.3. A 2.8 in Lincoln, Montana. And the most recent they reported is a 1.4, which is Soda Springs, Idaho. I got an email from one of you guys about the activity at Yellowstone Lake, showing drum beats. Well, we got the same thing going on at Norris Junction. Same thing going on at Grant Village. This is the borehole. The borehole for Yellowstone Lake. Now remember, this is a very deep well. So is Grant, a very deep well. They make these wells very deep so they don't pick up outside noise. The top has a cap of cement and will come down. This is Grant. It's about 375 feet under the ground before they put in the monitors for the earthquake and the strain meters and the spectrograms, and will come all the way down. The well's 500 feet deep. There is no way it is picking up any outside noise, wind, traffic, stampeding buffalo, or anything else. And they'll say to you or other people, well, you notice the time that the activity seems to pick up. Yeah, I've noticed the time that the activity seems to pick up. I don't know why. But yeah, there's a lot more activity. And it was also going on late last night. 375 feet below the ground. Now, let's put you below the ground. I'll go upstairs through rock, granite, different types of material, and I'll pound on it with a hammer, and you tell me if you pick it up. Again, the borehole for Norris Junction. Yeah, drum beats. This is the area where the earthquake swarm is going on. This is the area where the magma has been recorded to come into the system. In 2008, they had an earthquake swarm. They did not admit until 3 years later that magma had come into the system, pushed up the ground, etc. Someone asked me, does the magma go back down? No, it does not go back down. It has a natural buoyancy, wants to rise up, wants to put pressure on the earth above, make it brittle, stretching the earth until eventually it reaches a point where the magma then becomes lava on the surface. So what becomes of the magma? Well, if it does cool down, it becomes new rock. Here we have Hebden Lake. This is near Earthquake Lake. There's the Mexico earthquake. There's the 2 earthquakes that occurred there in Lincoln, Montana. And we'll come down. We got some more here. Right there. See 2 lines. First line is the P wave. Second line, the S wave. And so forth. The solar stream that's coming from the coronal hole on the sun seems to be settling down a little bit. But I expect we'll probably see more earthquakes for the next day because the impact it did have on the earth. And we might see it maybe for another day or 2, 3 days. We'll see. And good timing. The geyser's going off. Steam looks a little dirty, but I've seen it worse. Nice big show it's putting on there. Well, if you do have any questions or comments, please put them below. Bookmark my site. I'll keep you up to date. Please stay safe. Always be prepared for a disaster. And I'll talk to you later. God bless you all. Bye.